We've already discussed the extravagant lifestyle of King Salman in a previous episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, then we highly recommend that you go watch it as well, link in the description below. But what we haven't talked much about is the King's son, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, his love for science fiction films, and how it ties in with him creating a city that will defy the odds of reality. In today's episode of Deep Luxury, we'll be exploring this mega project, a project that's so far out there, so over the top, that you'll be foolish to miss out on the details. Brace yourselves for this one. Like, literally, it's quite interesting. Mohammed bin Salman, or otherwise known as his initials, MBS, plans to build a dystopian city, the NEOM project, which is projected to cost a grand total of $1 trillion. Which isn't much to him, considering that he's like the symbol of the Saudi Arabia government and has full control over the country's oil-rich coffers. NEOM is an amalgamation of the Greek word for new and the Arabic word for future. It's set to be a modernized green city that more than 9 million residents of both Saudi and foreign ancestry will get to call home. Located in Tabuk, right in the center of the Arabian desert. Initially announced in 2017, the NEOM project was showcased to be the centerpiece endeavor that would enable Saudi Arabia to diversify its economy beyond just being an oil-dependent one. This would also prove to be beneficial, since the rest of the world is slowly steering away from the use of fossil fuels. In 2022, MBS declared that the NEOM project will be completed by 2030. According to him, it'll be the modern version of the pyramids of Giza and might just be considered the ninth wonder of the world. Project NEOM will be implemented with a variety of future technologies, such as flying lights and urban spaceports for space launches. There are also plans of it having mind-blowing structures, such as a building designed like a flower that blooms, or one that depicts an eagle stretching its enormous wings before taking flight. Yeah, we're fully convinced that it's MBS's world and we're just living in it. And peep this, the mega project is also said to include a fanciful ski resort called the Vault in the middle of the desert, which is a man-made valley cut into a mountain. These are just some of the products of MBS's wild imagination. However, in order to accomplish this, NEOM will need to rely on rising temperature drops at high altitudes. And MBS's lofty pursuits don't stop there. In an effort to entice Europe's elite investors, MBS plans to build a yacht marina on the Red Sea. Its aim to attract opulence will likely go unnoticed, unless, of course, it just sits in Europe's Venetian docks. It would be an understatement to suggest that Mohammed bin Salman spared no expense in building this futuristic city, since Hollywood's most famous designers have been commissioned to build this stunning landscape. We're referring to designers from blockbuster films like Guardians of the Galaxy, The Dark Knight, and I Am Legend, as well as the futuristic designer from the dystopian movie World War Z. Even more, MBS has hired renowned Californian author Chris Gray to study the innovations of respected sci-fi movies like Blade Runner and incorporate these concepts into the creation of the NEOM city. In the center of it will be the Line, an elongated linear city that'll be astonishingly 33 times larger than New York. It'll extend from the desert in the east to the Red Sea in the west, within the vicinity of Jordan's and Egypt's borders. The innovative firm MORPHOSIS Architects will create this magnificent architectural wonder, which will be made up of 2 tall structures, parallel to one another, and will be connected by contemporary walkways. It'll be 200 meters wide, but will have mirror surfaces that reach an incredible 500 meters in height. To paint a vivid picture in your mind, the Line will be far taller than the Empire State Building, and more than 2/3 the height of Dubai's famous Burj Khalifa. The city of the Line is anticipated to be thriving with 14 industrial sectors, including media, entertainment, energy, production, food, transportation, and the like. However, the most distinctive aspect of this futuristic metropolis is that each resident will receive 2 working robots to handle all back-end calls. Yup, that's right, robots. Nothing screams living in the future when robots are involved. Although the living standards appear to be excellent on paper, a lot of engineering effort and strength will be required to see that this spectacular structure actually comes to life. One factor that designers must take into account while creating such towering parallel buildings is the quantity of shadow cast they'll generate, shadows that can prevent residents from taking in the nourishing sunlight provided by Mother Nature. Additionally, the fact that the line will be impacted by the curvature of the planet must also be considered by the engineers. The globe curves 8 inches for every mile, therefore engineers will need to utilize an interval gap to allow the line to bend when appropriate. MBS, though, is certain that despite its mind-boggling design complexity, the line won't be buried under it. For starters, a high-speed train will connect it, enabling travelers to easily travel from one end of the city to the other. And a different mode of transportation might also be deployed: flying taxis. The Jetsons, anyone? watermelon? You see, NEOM will be more than just a green metropolis. It will serve as a testing ground for emerging technologies that have the capacity to challenge our narrow perspectives of urban life. And MBS will do everything in his power to bring his vision to life. But because there seems to be an answer for everything in this day and age, even with the worst desert environments with their stifling heat and not to mention their lack of fresh water, these issues won't deter the prince from creating the world's first all-smart green city. Numerous desalination facilities at NEOM will properly treat drinking water from the Red Sea. And as for power, the city will be able to run on a completely renewable electric grid thanks to, well, the sun. But then an interesting question arises here. How would NEOM provide the rain needed to support plant growth in such a hostile and insufficient environment? The answer? An innovative technology called cloud seeding. With this technology, engineers will be able to construct rain by altering the weather and the temperature to remain nice and cool for crops to distribute fresh produce. Vegetables will grow vertically from the sides of buildings, and sci-fi style robots will harvest the plants and carry them to community canteens, where residents can look forward to their day-to-day meals. To put these ambitious goals into fruition, MBS will collaborate with some of the most cutting-edge IT businesses in the world. For instance, the prince is said to have signed a $5 billion partnership with the world's biggest green hydrogen manufacturing facility to study various wind and solar energy sectors. MBS is also collaborating with other well-known businesses to build remarkable entertainment marvels, such as an island in the style of Jurassic Park, packed with artificial dinosaurs that may potentially outcompete those in the movie. For security purposes, modern surveillance systems will be installed using microphones and drones. Education will be operated holographically to enlighten the rapidly expanding population, once the city has reached full occupancy. Additionally, NEOM will boast a beach with glimmering sand and a massive man-made moon that'll shine brightly in the sky, creating a mesmerizing sight to behold, unlike anything we've ever seen. And to top it all off, live satellite photos from space will be projected into the night sky. If that doesn't impress you space fanatics, then we don't know what possibly will. But because Saudi Arabia lacks domestic engineering and design ability, large sums of money are being spent to recruit international engineers to work on this project, equipped with $1 million tax-free wage, plus all expenses paid. For those who professionally qualify, who could refuse such an offer? To us, it's a total no-brainer. And just like any project, Project NEOM has seen a fair share of glaring setbacks. For starters, MBS is known to have a volatile temperament and constantly demands frequent updates while closely monitoring the project. Yeah, you better believe you'll be on your next trip home if he doesn't approve of your progress. But aside from that, the Saudi prince is optimistic that Saudi Arabia will one day boast of an ultra-modern metropolis that grew from the harsh sands of the desert, much like their neighbor Dubai. Whoa, that was a lot to take in. We don't know what's harder to believe, that we could someday commute via flying taxi, or that all of these things could actually be accomplished in the next 7 or so years. Which features of the Prince's project are you most excited to see come to life? We're really curious to know, so comment down below. And if you want to learn more about the life of the insanely rich and powerful, then like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything that's headed your way. Thanks for watching.